I'm a stripper and my husband of 7 years wants me to stop but with no backup plan. I, 27 female, and my husband, M, 32 male, have been together for 7 years and have 2 kids ages 6 and 3. This all started when I first started dancing, which was 6 months after our first child was born. We had just moved to a new state and M, who does gig work, couldn't find any good jobs. I was in college still and originally found a job full-time as a receptionist, but obviously it was not enough to pay our bills and we were sinking fast. M occasionally asked his mother to spot us money, but we were still in trouble. I asked him if he could get some of the higher-paying construction jobs I was seeing, but he was not interested in it, claiming construction workers get treated bad, and that he would find something soon. Out of desperation, I saw an ad for a new strip club that just opened encouraging first-time dances, and I applied without telling M. I tried for a week and it was hard as I am an introvert, but I had to make it work and I did. I saw I could make money for us and told M the new job I had gotten. He blew up obviously, but I pointed out that we couldn't stay afloat another month and he still wouldn't try construction. It was a big long argument, but eventually we agreed on me only dancing until he found a regular job and I would also get a regular job. But then I started making good money and he stopped looking for work. This went on for a year until we had to move back home for a few years due to a family emergency. We just lived in his parents' house during this time and I also had another child. Fast forward to 3 years ago, we left his parents' home and again moved back to the state we wanted to originally live in, lower cost of living, and I again asked him to get a construction job, but he turned the option down. He found a low-paying job, $2,000 per month, where he didn't have to do anything, and I of course had to resume dancing to make ends meet. I do a very good job of compartmentalizing work and home, since he still remarks from time to time how he doesn't like my job. I don't contact customers outside of work, always answer my phone, and keep my location on for GPS in case he wants to see what I'm doing. Now we are in process of buying a home, and lately he's been accusing me a lot of making him feel inferior and being controlling and not giving him enough adult time. He has complained before, but only like once or twice a year, but I try to tell him I do control all the finances, and when I say no to an activity or vacation, we go on at least one vacation a year. I always tell him, or show him, he has all the same account access as I do, though, the financial reasons why. I of course pay all the bills and credit cards, so I'm constantly checking to see when it is or isn't a good idea to buy something. As for the adult time, I try at least 2x a week, but more than that is hard because I homeschool the kids in the mornings and work nights, and I'm always stressed, so it's hard to be up for that every day. Sometimes in an argument I do bring up the fact that he doesn't really contribute financially, but it's only when he starts talking smack about my job. I try to tell him I would rather a normal job because it takes a lot out of me emotionally to have such an extroverted job when at core I'm introverted, but then he blames me because now all of a sudden he apparently wants to look for a higher paying job. This can't happen right now because we're doing the loan paperwork for the house and he can't just switch jobs right now, the loan people said not to. Plus I pull in 6 figures and I doubt he will find a job that can keep up what our mortgage and expenses will be. This is the only thing we argue about, but it used to be like only once or twice a year we would argue about my job. The increase in it has me worried and unsure what to do. TLDR, my job as a stripper has my husband feeling inferior, but I don't have any other work options and he hasn't been eager to work until just now. About a week ago you caught your husband trying to cheat on you for the 3rd time. At some point you just have to admit this relationship isn't working. Why did you stick with him so long? Find a divorce attorney. He's not contributing where you need him to contribute and he's being a lazy, manipulative asshole. Do not buy a house with this man. It's your hubby's problem, not yours. Insecure men who cannot control a strong woman will always whine about something they do and never offer any other suggestions. Heck, the idiot could have easily suggested setting up an OnlyFans account for you and have you draw money in that way. Honestly, I would kick him to the curb. He isn't going to find a job because he has no drive to do anything. You got this. Do not buy a house with this guy or tie yourself to him in any sense financially, otherwise he will just up and empty the account one day, leaving you high and dry. Exactly how long do you want to or even can be a stripper? This man won't step up and do squat to make a decent income and put you down for yours. Problem is, you know you can't do this forever, then what? You have 2 kids. You gonna strip until they're out of high school? This really bothers me, not because of what you're doing, but where the heck is the backup plan for either of you? I'd be so angry with him. This guy is a huge loser. Please find your self-worth and self-respect and leave him. Your significant other much better than him. Do not put his name on the deed. I can't stress this enough. He's gonna need to step up at some point. Most strippers retire early. Although my grandma knows her way around a pole pretty well. It sounds like it would be less work to be a single mom than this. Why can't he also be a stripper to help out? Just leave him SMH. He contributes nothing. Why are you married to a man-child? Why are you staying with this man? You are taking care of the children and paying all the bills. Basically you are a single mother taking care of a moocher. Don't buy the house, you're carrying the whole effort. Honestly, I don't want to say break up with him, but people like this don't change while life is comfortable. Either break up, move out, or lay down a hard ultimatum to get him to change, or nothing will. I don't understand why you're financially supporting 2 kids and an adult man. On top of that, a man who degrades you over a job you have to take in order to pay for your lives. I would honestly break up with him. Things aren't going to get better. The fact that he looks down his nose at you for stripping while he's too lazy to get a better job in 7 years is astounding. He doesn't get a say, he doesn't get to take from you while putting you down every chance he gets. Honestly, if I were you, I'd split up, save the money from dancing for a few more years, then transition into another job that suits your introverted personality better. You're losing money and growth by staying with him. The lone people told him not to get a job. Oh honey, I really hope this is a fake post. He doesn't seem like he contribute to anything in the house. You bring the money, you homeschool, you take care of the finances. What does he do to take care of your mental health? What does he do to make your world easier? What are the sacrifices he did for this family? The increase in arguing with you about your job is because you're buying a house now. Previously it was only depending on you to feed the family. Now he's gonna be living under a roof you paid for. The sudden increase in arguments, it was never about your job. He's going to do what he's always done whenever something upsets him. Pick a fight with you since it's easy, and he won't have to do anything else. 7 years, doesn't try to better himself while picking fights with you about your job. If it was just one of these, I'd say stay, but both. In my country, some fathers prostitute their young daughters for money and live off them. You could always go to online stripping and make ever more money and leave him. He knew what he was getting into. You make 6 figures. I need to be a stripper. Sounds to me like pure insecurities. He feels like less of a man because he doesn't pay the bills and he doesn't work yet wants to tell you what to do. Well, if he wants to do that, he had to actually contribute a good amount or show he's trying. Until then, he got a hush. Keep the job, ditch the husband. Honey, I know you love him, but I'm wondering what you see in her. The sacrifices you make for your family is something that I don't know I can do, so I really think you deserve better, like 1000x better. Someone who will climb the mountain for you like you have been doing. Came here to say you need to leave this dude. But everyone else has already voiced the point I was going to make. Listen to the comments op. Don't buy this house, make him get it together, or GTFO. He sounds like a leech in so many ways. I hope you do the right thing for your kids. Strippers and losers husbands, name a more iconic duo. I'll wait. I missed the 3x cheating part. I'd leave him and find a real man who cares for you and provides for you. He sounds like a loser girl, he doesn't deserve you. You're a fucking badass. That idiot wants to have 2 kids but he can but won't, financially support. Then when you step up he complains. You homeschool these babies and work. You make a 6-figure job while he brings in 2K a month. The responsibility at your household is unbalanced. He could make more. Period. 6 years you've had this job. In that time he could have started trade school or done something. He is lazy, lazy, lazy. Break up. He's lazy and has cheated on you several times. Let's think about backup plans. Not for him but for you and the kids. It is great that you can make such an income now, and it is also good to think about how you can use all your skills 10 years and more from now. There will be things you can start doing now that will put you and the kids in a more secure and sustainable place. Wishing you all the best. Order of operations. 1. He gets a job that pays enough to meaningfully contribute to supporting his family. 2. He keeps that job for at least a year. 3. Consider purchasing a house together. 4. Maybe after that revisit how you bring home the bacon. Maybe not. You do you. My wish for you, a partner in this journey. I promise you can make yourself feel safer than anyone else in this world. By empowering your own freedom to make your own choices. The thing you describe with him, it passes. You'll grieve it and grow. You'll find that security in something with a stable foundation. He ain't it. Several times in this thread you've commented you are with him because He's the only person I've ever felt safe or able to be around. That says more about the low expectations you've been given in this life as to how to be treated than it does that he's a good person. When you grow up with low expectations from caretakers, shitty neglectful people often feel like home. Please don't buy a home with this guy, especially as your work is the main source of income. Please start expecting more from a partner, and pushing back on this situation. Cheaters cheat. I think you could have a better, more serene life without him. Don't forget that by being the breadwinner, the more you wait the more likely you'll end up paying him an alimony if you divorce. I don't know why any family man would be settling for $2,000 or less a month. That's $24,000 a year, that's horrible, and almost anybody with some level of motivation can make $40–60K as a minimum. This is crazy low income, like high school wage low. If he doesn't like your job, then he needs to give you financial freedom to leave. Or else you just stay there. Pretty common sense. He seems dull. While I think you've got a number of issues you need to work out with your relationship, regardless of your husband's opinion, you can't strip forever. What are you going to do when you're 40? It might pay you well right now, but this isn't a forever job. Finish what you're doing with the house if you can't call it off. You've agreed to a new quality of life, so you now have new minimum standards of living, which means you can't settle for less again. That being said, until you both have good jobs already lined up that cover what you need, you're gonna have to keep dancing. You guys gotta find a way to be better partners though, so you're not resentful of each other. Damn, I hope this relationship lasts. But I don't see how. When the woman is the breadwinner, she seeks a higher value man. Are you 1000% both kids are his? I don't contact customers outside of work. Man, I don't know anything about stripping, but what reason in the entire world would you have for giving a customer your number? You take your clothes off for them and they get horny. How is there a phone call involved? Maybe it's just a Vegas thing, but isn't 27 kinda on the older side for a stripper? Out here it's barely 21-year-olds, unless they have additional performance abilities. Seen some really awesome pole dancing. I'd leave him. He think he controls who should look at your body and when. And that's your decision. As long you're taking care of your bills, taking care of your kids, and spending quality love lifetime with your husband, he should keep his mouth shut. So this dude refuses to even try getting a better job and then berates you for keeping the family afloat. Sounds like a real winner. Please think about not buying a house with him. You're tied together because of your marriage and children. A house will make it even harder if you split up. And it sounds like you need to do some serious thinking about whether you're really in a healthy relationship. I'm so sorry to tell you this, but it doesn't get better. He has no motivation, nor does he care to contribute half the money and energy into the household. Look at the long term, you won't be making stripper money like that forever. What happens if you get injured and can't dance anymore? Who will be paying for everything in 15–20 years? Time for everyone to put on their big kid panties and have the scary conversation. Are you under the impression that people can just walk onto construction sites and get good paying jobs with no skills? He would be a gopher or picking up trash at best for a good while. Also, what's your plan for after you can't make mortgage payments by dancing anymore? Can you feasibly afford this lifestyle once dancing ends? Dancing does end. Good luck trying to get your man to take responsibility in taking on more of the financial workload. You honestly don't think you can earn a living on the pole forever, but adding more financial restrictions to your hubby isn't going to work because he already has an immature mindset regarding finances, and I don't thinking he honestly wants to step up. You could leave him, but it ain't gonna get any easier out on him streets. You are an introvert, and your fear prevents you to look for different, better partners. Did you have bad parents? Where does that fear come from? Don't let it control your life. You can do better. P.S. Your husband sounds like a slouch. Why are you with such a controlling asshole? He sounds selfish, childish and lazy. He is freeloading off you and doesn't want to support his family. Please stop having kids with him, and don't buy a house with him. See a divorce lawyer instead. Why are you still going forward with the house when you caught him trying to cheat 3 times and you think he's gay? So he doesn't want to do construction because construction workers are treated badly, but is fine with his wife doing one of the most dangerous jobs out there that can lead to sexual harassment, stalkers, assault, and difficulty getting another job because of stigma, when she doesn't enjoy it and it makes her uncomfortable. He is literally willing to mooch off of you and put your safety at risk and isn't willing to do it in return for you. To be honest, from my opinion, it sounds like he wasn't motivated at the time in the beginning, enough to bring in more money so that he can make the demands of you. In truth, it costs to be the boss. Had he have found a way to increase his financial gain, the financial stress and burden wouldn't have fallen on you. It sounds like he wants daily access to you when you're stressed out from your working responsibilities. Please stop having children you cannot afford with a husband who is, at best, an insecure underachiever and at worst, a lazy, controlling cheater. You deserve better than this. Your children definitely deserve better than to grow up thinking this dysfunction is normal. Don't buy a house with this man. Get yourself into therapy and learn to prioritize yourself and your children over a man who doesn't prioritize his family. I mean, sure, you could see why it might not sit well with him, especially as the kids get old enough to understand the concept. But he's acting like a complete loser. If he wanted to just coast through life with as little effort as possible, the time to think about it was before he had 2 kids.